Hi everyone, welcome to our video series. So today we're going to talk all about waste equipment. So the waste equipment you have and how you use it is so important. One dirty little dumpster can have a huge effect on your bottom line. So every piece of equipment affects your bottom line. The right equipment is going to boost your waste disposal efficiency and minimize your waste spend. The wrong equipment is going to require more pickups than necessary. It will make it far easier for you to overpay on waste services. This is unfortunately something we see pretty much all the time. In this presentation, you'll learn some of the basics about waste equipment and the different options that are available to you. So we'll go over toters, dumpsters, open tops, compactors, and balers. The more you know about each of them, the more informed decisions you can make about their uses, and the more you might be able to save. Now, I will say each of those options that I just went over, they're not going to be applicable to everyone. It's going to very much be dependent on your industry, whether you're a multifamily property or maybe you're manufacturing. It really depends on what commercial needs you have. But I think it's important to go over these because there may be options that are available to you that you just don't know about. Some companies can really, really benefit from a compactor, for instance, so long as they have the space for it, because that can really cut down on pickups. So what I'm going to do is we'll go through each of these in a little bit more detail so you can see the options that might be available to you and how you can save. So let's look at toters. So did you ever take your family's trash to the curb as a kid? You loved it, right? Or maybe you're one of those anomalies like our CEO, Charlie Brunson, who enjoys taking out the trash as an adult. Either way, you've seen one of these. Their best feature, wheels. So toters have these wheels that mean that instead of dragging it down your never-ending driveway, all you had to do was tilt and pull. You're most likely to see toters in neighborhoods or behind smaller restaurants. And you can kind of see an example of that here. Obviously, the residential ones look a little bit different. They tend to be, looks like maybe probably a little bit taller than these ones and narrower. But these ones are the kind of that you'll typically see kind of behind restaurants. So they don't have tons of capacity, but their small size is ideal for storing in tight areas. And here's a great example of a toter right here. You can see it's kind of not really cylindrical, but it is a little bit rounded. It's got these wheels and it has that lid on top. So they are usually about 43 inches high, 36 inches deep, 96-gallon capacity. Use most of the time you're going to see this at residential or multifamily units or smaller businesses, and the cost is going to be a flat monthly fee. Let's talk about dumpsters. So dumpsters can come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, and colors, but there are 4 different kinds. Front-load dumpsters, known as FELs, front-load dumpsters with casters, rear-load dumpsters, and rear-load dumpsters with casters. Of all these types, the front-load dumpster is the most popular. If you have a dumpster on your property, it's probably this one. Front-load dumpster gets picked up from, you guessed it, the rear. Large restaurants, apartment buildings, shopping centers, office complexes, and convenience stores most often use dumpsters for their waste disposal. Dumpsters with casters are used mostly in urban areas. They may be stored in a place like the basement of a high rise or an alley, then wheeled out to the street to be picked up. Having the right size and right number of dumpsters has a direct impact on the amount you pay for waste expenses. So we estimate that a solid 70% of our clients have paid for too many pickups on their dumpsters. This is just one of several common waste problems. And honestly, guys, if you're only going to look at one thing about your waste management process today, it would be this one. I would start looking into whether you are being over-serviced or whether you need different equipment. There's a really good chance that you just need smaller dumpsters or you need fewer pickups. For some fastback size, they come in 4, 6, and 8 yard, those dumpsters. Use consistent, relatively light waste streams, and then cost, it's going to be a flat fee based on the size and the frequency of pickup. Let's talk about open tops. If you've ever walked by a construction site, chances are that you've seen one of these. Their size makes them ideal for disposing of concrete, metal wiring, and other construction debris. Like the dumpsters above, these come in several sizes. It comes in 20, 30, and 40 yard sizes. often for construction waste, but they are also used for heavy, bulky items that won't fit in smaller containers. These containers are perfect for hauling refuse like large pieces of wood, old furniture, or metal scraps. There's a flat fee per pickup, a rental fee, and a fee based on actual weight. Let's talk about compactors. So you can see a compactor here in this corner. This one has a lid. They're not all going to be to look like this. There are obviously kind of different kinds of compactors, but this one looks like you pop in stuff from the top and then it gets squished to the back. So remember that trash compactor scene in Star Wars? Han Solo, Leia, Luke, and Wookiee find themselves in a compactor the size of a room that gets turned on. It's a great scene, and spoiler alert, they survive, of course. Fortunately, most commercial compactors don't ever see that much excitement. For businesses that produce a significant volume of waste, compactors can really help reduce how much space your garbage takes up in the dumpster. When your garbage takes up less space, your hauler shouldn't have to come pick it up as often. It's a great way to reduce those waste expenses. There are two types of compactors. So there's the self-contained and breakaway. Since there are some big differences between the two, we've used the chart below to compare sizes and uses. You guys can scroll down if you want to see that. We've got that on our blog. So there are 3 fees for compactors regardless of type. So flat fee per pickup, rental fee, and then the fee based on actual weight. It is charged by the ton. Self-contained compactors tend to be more expensive to lease because the equipment is more expensive for the hauler to purchase. Makes sense, right? It's worth noting that some haulers will charge the actual tonnage fee that the landfill charges them or to them to dispose of the waste. Other haulers are going to charge you more. The landfill tonnage fee and whatever else they feel like charging you is profit. This is something we go over pretty extensively on our website and in our blog. So do keep clicking around if you are curious about that. So let's talk about balers. So are you up to your eyeballs in cardboard? You may need a baler. A commercial baler like this one, and again, you can scroll down for a picture of this. It packages waste products like cardboard, newspaper, shrink wrap, plastic, clothes, or even tires. Balers are a great way to save space and money. So usually they're about 60 to 72 inches. They're used to flatten and package waste for recycling or selling. The cost is a lease for a flat monthly rate or purchase. Oh, do you have the right waste equipment? Critical question at this point, right? So toters, dumpsters, open tops, compactors, and balers have specific uses, dimensions, and costs. When they're used strategically and serviced appropriately, they can help you keep your waste expenses to a minimum. But if your equipment and service levels are not in line with your actual needs, you'll almost always overpay. This is why we recommend having an independent auditor analyze every aspect of your waste spend. So they aren't waste consultants aren't haulers. Those independent auditors are not haulers. They aren't out to make money on additional services you don't really need. Instead, they'll find your savings opportunities and show you how to take advantage of them.